With Dark Souls and Shadow of the Colossus coming up with their remasters, who knows when Final Fantasy VII Remake's coming out, but it got me thinking about previous remakes and whatnot. So for this video, I'm going to specifically talk about the top 5 best remakes, in my opinion of course, not remasters or reboots, just so there's no confusion. Remakes are games that stayed mostly true to original storyline and gameplay, while making technological improvements with the advancements available in the hardware. Also, not games that were just upscaled to HD. So with that being said, let's get started. Number 5 on my list is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Chain of Memories may be the weakest entry of Kingdom Hearts commercially, but it offered an interesting, emotional storyline and a combat system exclusive to itself. That being said, Chain of Memories wasn't able to offer what Kingdom Hearts did before it and what Kingdom Hearts 2 did after it. It was hindered by the loss of a 3D environment, lack of cutscenes, and voice acting going as far as battle grunts. Chain of Memories for the PlayStation 2, however, was able to remedy all of that and then some. Not only was this remake completely redesigned to be graphically and audibly on par with the numbered titles in the series, several additions were included. These additions included new cards, bosses, cutscenes, and a theater mode to watch them. Square took a leaf out of Kingdom Hearts 2's book by including the reaction command, as well as adding the duel system, similar to the card game War, to Riku's battle mechanics. The changes made to Chain of Memories, whether subtle or drastic, did well to recreate an already enjoyable experience and elevate it to the level of its surrounding entries. For the 4th game in my list, it was a toss-up between Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Samus Returns, and I'm gonna have to go with Metroid Samus Returns. It hurts me to say that because Zero Mission is not only one of my favorite handheld games of all time, but damn, it's one of my favorite games ever. It took everything Metroid did and just completely made it just more badass. But going from Metroid 2, which by the way is a great game, on that ugly green screen, to this, while Samus Returns follows the same plotline as Metroid 2, it really expands upon the game in both storyline and gameplay. In fact, it changes so much that it almost feels like a completely different game in its own right, for all the right reasons. It takes the best elements from multiple Metroid games and blends them together to provide a uniquely enjoyable experience on the 3DS. Nintendo really stepped up their game on this one. I can't wait for Metroid Prime 4. Pokemon is without a doubt one of the most lucrative game franchises ever. Their second generation, Gold and Silver, became one of their biggest, selling 23 million copies worldwide and being met with huge critical acclaim. It came as no surprise that when their remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver were released, they were met with the same response commercially and critically. Together, they have sold over 1.48 million copies in Japan during their first 2 days and now have sold over 13 million worldwide. Heart Gold and Soul Silver play virtually the same as their earlier versions. Enhanced graphics and sound, equivalent to the other DS releases like Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, and that was the biggest improvement. They added a homage yellow by having the first Pokemon in your lineup appear on screen walking behind you. There are various other changes to the remakes, such as the addition of several Generation 4 Pokemon, having to face Ho-Oh or Lugia as a part of the story, and many others. If you're feeling nostalgic, you can switch the soundtrack with the original after you clear all 16 gyms. Granted, the game itself should be enough to spark memories and feelings from playing the originals. For number 2 on my list, I really had a tough time choosing this because this was one of the few games I've played in my life where I think I've spent over 400 hours playing. And that's not just the original story, which is awesome, but the mini games are so addictive. Yo, I think I played poker on this thing so many freaking times, it's ridiculous. But with that being said, Super Mario 64 DS is a portable version of Super Mario 64. I mean, what else can you ask for? Not a ton of features were added to this game, but that's because Super Mario 64 didn't need them. Nintendo updated the graphics, fixed the camera and control issues, and added multiplayer support. As far as 3D platformers go, it doesn't get any better than Super Mario 64, and thanks to this, you can take that experience anywhere you want. Resident Evil received a complete makeover. It was built on all new graphics and sound, replacing the original live-action FMV segments with CGI and adding a new cast of voice actors. They managed to keep the same dark, creepy atmosphere as its original version, if not adding to it. The mechanics were altered to include body language that indicates the player's health and a 180-degree turning, which was very helpful. Shinji Mikami, I believe that's how you say his name, stated that the remake is 70% different than the original. That's pretty massive for a remake. Making that many changes is risky enough, but given the fact that it changed so much while keeping the same atmosphere and the feel of the original, nonetheless improve on it, speaks heavily in their favor. If another company is looking for a remake and they need to look for guidance, Resident Evil is without a doubt the project they should take notes from. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Appreciate you watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check you later.